Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Here's what we're working on today. Central Arkansas back in recovery mode after another round of severe storms hits Little Rock. More on the damage left behind in just a minute. Plus, people around the country are eagerly awaiting the newest COVID vaccine. But there are still a lot of questions about the shot and who's paying for it. How pharmacies here are navigating the uncertainties at 12:07. And it may be September, but the temps outside are soaring. Why it's especially important to keep kids safe at school just a little later. But first, we want to start with our top story. People around Little Rock are cleaning up this afternoon after yesterday's power storm. Now take a look at some of this damage left behind. Thunderstorms moved through the city on Wednesday afternoon, bringing with it powerful straight-line wind gusts. Those winds knocked down trees, damaged homes, and hit businesses in several parts of the city. The storms also did a number on people's power. More than 14,000 customers in Pulaski County lost power right after it hit. That number is now a little less than 13,000. Yep, close to 12,100. We have crews following up with Entergy as well as the people in the areas hit hardest. You can catch over our team coverage tonight at 5 and 6. Now, one of the areas impacted by the storms is one that's unfortunately still recovering from the E3 tornado that tore through the city in March. CHB 11's Ashley Godwin spoke to people in the Walnut Valley neighborhood who said they're now back at square one in the rebuilding process.
The storm, a very bad storm, very, very bad.
Mo Shahed was about a month away from completing the rebuild of his home until this storm came barreling through.
No garage, nothing, because all was garage frame, everything was frame.
The strong winds were too powerful for the unfinished house, collapsing it. Shahed said there was already $31,000 invested in the rebuild.
I already spent that all material stuff, we didn't finish it yet.
What's really sad is many homes are starting to come up, many homes are starting to be rebuilt.
Walnut Valley was one of the neighborhoods devastated by the March tornado. This storm undid some of that work to recover.
I've seen a lot of wind damage, and so we had more storm damage from the last one, but a lot of just wind damage and a lot of minor damage to some of the home's construction, such as some siding taken down or some roof shingles down.
As for Shahed, he is choosing to keep a positive attitude in the midst of the destruction.
Always have to be happy. You can be worse than that. You are in it right now. It can be worse.
And that was Ashley Godwin reporting. We now want to bring in Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon, who was tracking yesterday's storms. Tom, have we learned anything about what happened, and can we expect more in the coming days?
Well, I'll tell you this, straight line winds can happen with any severe thunderstorm. It's just that this one pulsed up quickly and collapsed quickly in a span of about 10 to 15 minutes, providing us with what's called a microburst. Just a big blast of wind from top down, and it really leveled a lot of trees and caused problems with power out in West Little Rock. We do have another strong thunderstorm, actually severe storm in Ouachita and Calhoun counties. I'll take you there. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 12:30. If you live in Camden, you're getting a pretty good amount of wind, rain, possibly some hail. That is moving southeast and may affect Hampton and Snow Hill in the Calhoun County area. As for the rest of us, I think the rain chances diminish after this area gets out of the way. We'll see sunshine today. It's going to be very hot and less humid this afternoon. We're at 87 currently. We'll look for a high today to reach about 94 degrees. Now, more comfortable areas on the way. I'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast in a few moments. Jurnee?
All right, Tom, thank you. President Joe Biden is headed overseas where he will make the pitch to world leaders that the U.S. is a more trustworthy economic partner than China. The meetings come after tensions between Beijing and Washington over an important trade route continue to rise. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
President Biden heads overseas Thursday as part of the administration's push to counter China. The president's first stop will be in New Delhi, India, for a meeting with world leaders at the G20 summit. He'll then head to Vietnam, a country which has seen trade with the U.S. expand greatly as tensions between the U.S. and China increase.
If you look at the U.S. economy and you look at China's economy, if you look at the U.S.'s alliances and the strength that we have built up in the Indo-Pacific and beyond, we feel very good about the strategic position of the United States.
The president's travel follows Vice President Kamala Harris's trip to Indonesia, where she met with leaders from Southeast Asian nations. During her third trip to the region, the vice president spoke with CBS News Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan.
Why are you spending so much time in this particular part of the world?
The South China Sea, being in this region of the world, in those seas, 1/3 of global trade occurs.
The U.S. has stepped up naval patrols in the South China Sea to ensure that commerce ships can pass safely and freely through the region. The Biden administration says it's something that impacts all Americans.
Think about supply chain issues. If it is not secure, if it is not open, if there's not freedom of navigation and enforcement of maritime law, what that will mean in terms of impeding supply chains and how that will relate then to the average American.
As tensions with China remain heightened, Chinese President Xi Jinping will not attend the G20. He's sending his second-in-command to India instead. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The White House says President Biden is hopeful he can have a face-to-face talk with the Chinese president in the near future, since he will not be in attendance at the G20 summit. A new update for police in North Little Rock makes it easier for them to get in touch with the public. The department launched this new Atlas One app. It's similar to the one already in operation in Little Rock, created by the same company. It allows police to share real-time crime and incident information with the community. It also provides residents to submit tips and reports to police anonymously.
And then on top of that, if you happen to have any information that you want to share with the North Little Rock Police Department, whether it be anonymous or not, it's another click of a button and you can be in a live two-way conversation with a police officer.
The North Little Rock Atlas One app is available for download right now in your device's app store. September is Realtor Safety Month, and now some agents in Central Arkansas are learning how to protect themselves while showing houses alone. Real estate agent Monica Smith taught a class on self-defense for a group of realtors in Pulaski County. She said she knows the adversities that comes with hosting open houses or showing properties.
Being proactive is the best self-defense that we can do for ourselves. Being aware of our surroundings, knowing who is around us.
Now, this comes ahead of the 9th anniversary of Beverly Carter's death, former Arkansas realtor who was kidnapped and killed while showing a home in 2014. Smith said it never hurts to get ahead and be proactive so no one else ever has to fall victim again. Many people have been asking, when will the new COVID vaccine be available? Pharmacists say you can expect to see it soon. However, there are some unknown factors when it comes to paying for it this time. THV11's Brooke Buckner gives us a closer look.
Before, we didn't have to purchase the actual vaccines. We still had several supplies we had to provide, and obviously the personnel to provide the vaccines.
But now, pharmacists like Daniel Cate at Marketplace Pharmacy will have to purchase the new COVID vaccine because the federal government isn't funding it anymore. And even though it's going to cost him, he says it's still something he wants to do.
The intention is for us to be able to provide that for folks. We want to keep being part of the response to the pandemic and help people be safe and comfortable.
Cate expects the vaccine to be approved and available around the end of the month, but he's still unsure exactly how much it will cost him and if he'll be reimbursed.
That's going to be a totally new question mark with the COVID vaccine in particular, just because we haven't had to be reimbursed by someone's third-party payer for the actual drug that we'd be administering.
So what does this mean for those who plan to get the new booster? Nikki Hilliard with the Arkansas Pharmacists Association says most people with or even without insurance should be covered to receive it without paying out of pocket.
For those that aren't insured, there is a bridge program that the government will pick up the tab for the non-insured until December of 2024. And the details of that plan haven't been worked out, and so the pharmacies haven't been told, how to get paid for that coverage.
In the meantime, as pharmacists wait for more answers, the first step is to get the vaccine approved. Hilliard expects approval after the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices meeting September 12th. In Little Rock, Brooke Buckner, THV 11 News.
Now, Hilliard says everyone older than 6 months will be eligible for the next vaccine. Local advocacy groups just released new information showing how Arkansans are still being impacted by the pandemic. The groups have been tracking eviction numbers for 2 years. Majority of the renters were using more than 30% of their income to pay their rent before the pandemic, but that became harder to maintain once it hit. While courts were able to delay evictions in some cases, advocates say too many are still happening to this day.
We did a quick look at Court Connect, and from January 2nd through August 31st, the average number of evictions per month is 744.
Close to 800 evictions a month? That's outrageous.
Now, the group says it's fighting to change the state's eviction laws, which are some of the least forgiving in the country. You can find more on this story on THV11.com. Coming up, as temperatures continue to stay in the 90s, we'll show you how to keep your kids safe in the middle of the heat wave. Tom?
A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 12:30 for Calhoun and Ouachita counties. Right now, the heaviest rain and possibly 1-inch hail occurring over East Camden. That storm drifting to the southeast at 30. That's the only storm we have in Arkansas. It'll probably be out of here in the next hour or so. We're also talking about some dry conditions, drier air, slightly cooler temperatures as well after the break.